Hey everyone, as you might know, we recently partnered with Stellar, one of the large blockchain ecosystems out there. And we went to London to their annual conference, and today we're going to do a quick recap of that. But first, if you missed it, here's a 1-minute clip of the conference and what we did there.
Hi everyone, this is Sohail from TEACHMEDEFI. We're here in London. We recently partnered with Stellar and we're at the annual conference of Stellar, Meridian 2024.
So anyways, as you can tell from that clip, there was a lot going on, right? There was a lot of people around, which is good. You'd want that from a crypto conference. You want it to be busy, you want a lot of interest there, a lot of people to talk to and connect with. And the venue was stunning. It was right outside of Westminster Abbey in London. Unfortunately, I missed out on pretty much all the talks because we were shooting content pretty much all day. Quick history on Stellar if you didn't know. The network was actually launched in 2014 already, so even before Ethereum. And it was launched by Jet McCaleb, who was actually as well the founder of Mt. Gox and the founder of Ripple. And Patrick Collison, actually the CEO of payment giant Stripe, invested in the seed funding round $3 million. And we'll get to Stripe in a bit as well because there's more overlap. From what I can tell, tokenization and payments have historically been big use cases around Stellar, and it kind of was reflected in the people and companies that were there. So you had the Bank for International Settlements there, you had Chainlink, you had MoneyGram, you had the head of crypto of Stripe there. And Stripe actually just recently bought Bridge, a stablecoin platform, for $1.1 billion in crypto's largest transaction thus far, or acquisition. So they seem to be doubling down on crypto. It says that they want to accelerate the utility and adoption of stablecoins. And actually Bridge had worked with Stellar as well, and SpaceX is one of their clients. But the recent buzz seems to be around Soroban, which is the smart contract platform of Stellar, which was launched this year. Smart contracts are written in programming language Rust, and it's apparently very developer friendly. But then again, we have so many smart contract chains out there. So what is the edge here? What is special about it? So I decided to talk to builders and projects building on Soroban and hear about what they find unique about it, why they're building here, and where they see the ecosystem going. So here are a few moments of the interviews that we actually did at the conference.
Hi everyone, this is Sohail from TEACHMEDEFI and we're here at Stellar's annual conference Meridian in London, and I'm here with Wouter from Beans. Hi mate, how are you?
Hey, all good. Thanks for being here.
Lovely. Are you enjoying the conference so far?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely. Yeah, it's fun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I noticed we're standing in front of a coffee stand. Your project is called Beans. Tell me a bit more about it.
Yeah, so Beans is a non-custodial wallet focused on people that don't know anything about blockchain. So we abstracted away private keys, public keys, and it's mostly focused on people sending money internationally, sending one currency, but the other wants to receive another currency.
So are you using Stellar sort of as an in-between settlement type thing, and people send or deposit fiat and receive fiat at the other end? Or?
Yeah, so I'm based in Europe. I can deposit euros from my bank or in cash, get it in Beans in stablecoin. I can send it to you. You might prefer to receive peso.
Yeah.
So you would receive peso stablecoin, and then you can withdraw to your bank or in cash if you want that.
All right. So Beans is actually a stablecoin then?
Well, it's a wallet where we use stablecoin to facilitate currency conversion or saving in dollars if you have an unstable currency at home, for example, like that's the case in Argentina.
So why did you build this on Stellar? I know Stellar is doing like cross-border payments and that sort of thing. Is it easier to develop that on Stellar? Like,
Yeah, so actually several reasons. We do cross-border. So Stellar has a on-chain DEX where you can very easily convert one stablecoin in another. So I can send USDC, you get peso stablecoin, and it's automatically converted on-chain.
Right.
So that's nice. Stellar has like super cheap fees, so we can actually sponsor the fees. So if I send 10 USDC, you will receive 10 USDC, which was important for us because my mom doesn't understand receiving 9.999 USDC, right?
Yeah.
So
it'll be like, where's the rest?
Yeah. Yeah. So it and Stellar has like many features where it's very easy to build stuff that people that are not into blockchain can understand.
All right, I'm here with Federico from Xycloo Labs. Hi, mate. How's the
Hi, mate.
conference going so far?
Awesome. Really, it's my first time here.
So, what are you working on at Xycloo Labs at the moment?
So we are currently focused mostly on Mercury, which is a blockchain indexer. We've started working on it in the past year. We've won 2 community funds for it, and so we are super committed in Mercury. I believe data is gonna be at the center of Soroban DeFi development and evolution. So we are already working with some very interesting projects, and trying to improve the project day by day. We've started with this subscriptions feature, which could do something. We then evolved it to Zephyr, which is kind of it allows you to build your indexer, your blockchain data indexer, in any way you want, customizing as you like, without having to rely on any infrastructure of your own. You can just rely on our servers. And now with the last feature, it really allows you to index your DeFi project, your Stellar projects in minutes. So super interesting.
All right, everyone. I'm here with Joan from Decaf. Hi, Joan. How are you?
Hi. Good. All good. Enjoying this conference. It's amazing to see everybody here. And it's super nice to see the same people every year and new people coming in as well.
Yeah. No, that's nice. So we've been at the Meridian conference before then?
Yeah. It's my 3rd conference. I'm at the Meridian now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So a Stellar OG maybe.
Yeah.
All right. So I've heard about your project, but I'd like to hear about it from you a bit. What's Decaf? What are you doing?
Of course. Decaf is a non-custodial crypto wallet that's focused in LATAM. So basically, we have really strong on-ramps and off-ramps in those regions. Of course, it works everywhere else in the world because we also have the monogram integrations. But it's really crucial for some people in LATAM. And the team is based out of Mexico. So LATAM is really, really important for Decaf, and that's where we're expanding now.
Can you set up a personal bank account in the US as a non-US person without residence in the US?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Didn't know that.
It's also completely legal, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
But we do it through partners who are properly licensed to basically extend that license to us. And then we use those fintech tools to create those bank accounts for those people.
Right.
And those people can then also pay US, they can also pay to US bank accounts as well, if they want as well, right? To themselves or to third parties. And we also have European payments as well. So it's it basically helps you as somebody who's either a migrant or has difficulties entering the banking system to have a fallback option to get money, to send money, and to be free and regain control of your finances. We just had in fact, we just had a talk 30 minutes ago, where we actually exposed all those stories. We have a bunch of stories of users of Decaf. We had an Afghani person that was forced to marry somebody, and she didn't want that, right? So she ran away. She was sentenced to death, and the only way she can get money is through Decaf, for example, and that saved her from being caught, right? And she was able to go to another country. Or we have people migrants from Venezuela that went to other countries as well, and since they're migrants, they can't get any money, and through Decaf they're able to get paid from the US to access opportunity elsewhere. We also have a town in Colombia, a rural town that was had really a lot of problems with narcos a few years ago, and so now no banks want to touch that town, and through Decaf everyone can get paid and pay other people, and some of them are even now personal assistants for US companies, right? And so they can actually get some money, invest that money in the town, and now the town is flourishing again because of that, right? So yeah, it's basically a tool to empower people to break down those financial barriers and access opportunities where they didn't have one before, right?
That's amazing. Seeing that sort of real world utility come about from Web3, I think is always refreshing
Exactly.
instead of just being like focused on, I don't know, some on-chain degen trading stuff.
Yeah, totally.
So that's really nice to see. And I'm here with Jose. Hi, mate. How are you?
I'm very excited to be here.
Sweet. And I just heard you won the hackathon, which was on the weekend. So congrats.
Thanks a lot.
How did that go? What was the experience like? And what did you work on?
It was exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 36 hours to build something. Well, there were some specific tracks to build on, but so I just wanted to use this 36 hours, to build something that's actually helpful for the community. Because lots of time people just go out there and build or plan to build these enormous companies with a 10-year roadmap, and then after the hackathon, most of it's dead already. So what I built is a Telegram mini app that's a wallet for Stellar tokens or Stellar assets. So this means that just by having Telegram, and Telegram has already like 900 million users. So just by having a Telegram account, you already have access to a Stellar wallet without the need to install any browser extension, any third-party application. Just like that, you just need you create an account through a passkey, which is one of Stellar's most recent support. And just like that, you have access to Stellar.
All right, I hope that was interesting to you. So what are my takeaways from it all? I think Stellar might be a bit misunderstood in the overall Web3 space, as they're quite focused on real-world utility as opposed to, on-chain degenerate stuff. They have strong connections to kind of the TradFi, traditional finance and fiat payment world, so that could potentially be leveraged to bring real adoption. But it might also be a challenge to build out the ecosystem around Soroban, build up DeFi primitives, bring on more developers, and kind of gain mindshare in the overall Web3 space. But these challenges will be met by people, and the people that I met at the conference were smart, focused, and likable. Many of them actually presented case studies and stories of how their Web3 product or application actually helped people out there, people that were unbanked, for example. So it was a refreshing focus on actual utility, on real-world impact. Hearing about the real-world impact that Joan was talking about with Decaf, for example, was really heartwarming. And these are stories that clearly demonstrate the value of Web3, which is a topic that generally is abstract and complicated to most people. So these stories help to actually convey what this is about. You don't have to drop buzzwords after 3 of them. People are not listening to you anymore. Anyways, what do you think about Stellar? What are some of your impressions? Please let me know in the comments. Also stay tuned, because we'll release long-form interviews as well, which we did at the conference. And please subscribe to this channel and share these episodes if you enjoy them, because that really helps us out to keep doing this, to actually create better content. We can keep going, we can have better guests on the show. So that would mean the world to us. Thank you.